creative minds behind the show we all love, please welcome to the stage showrunners and executive producers Andrew Chambliss and Ian Goldberg. Come on out, guys. Say hello to the unbreakable Morgan Jones, Lenny J. The beautiful and badass Alicia Clark, played by Alicia. The dashing Victor Strand, our Coleman Domingo. New series regular, the talented Alexa Neeson, who plays Charlie. The love of all our lives, Luciana, played by the gorgeous Denai Garcia. The amazingly decent John Dory, our Gary Dillhunt. June, Laura, Naomi, the talented, gorgeous, and smart Jenna Elfman. This lovely lady plays the brave Althea Maggie Gray. You know him as our Dwight. Welcome, Austin Amelio. Executive producer and chief content officer of the TWG Universe, Scott M. And last but not least, co-executive producer and director Michael Satrazimas. Give it up, you guys. Give it up. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? Everybody good? Hi, guys. So let's start off with it. Andrew and Ian, we saw a familiar face. Was that Daniel Salazar coming out in the trailer?
That was, in fact.
And what can you tell us about his return?
Well, we are huge fans of Ruben.
What? You guys, I'm so shocked. Ruben Blades is here. It's actually Ruben Blades, but I did that for those that need that Blades. People need that Blades, but it's actually Blades. Okay. Welcome, Ruben. All right, so okay, so let's go back to Scott, Andrew, Ian, and Michael, all of the creative minds behind. Scott, you guys are way down there. What are the central themes this year for Fear the Walking Dead? Are we staying in the Western theme? What are we doing this year?
I would say definitely we're staying in the Western theme. You know, we have Austin as a palette, and
the place, not the person.
Yeah, well, and Austin. So yeah, we're sticking with it. It offers such an amazing landscape for us, and it differs so much, and I think it really lends to the style of shooting and the story.
The man you just heard speak has been the eye behind a lot of Walking Dead episodes and Fear the Walking Dead episodes that you guys love. So I need y'all to give him a little more love than that. Also, what are the biggest dangers to the group this year? Is it the walkers? Is it other people? Is it the location? Because did I see something nuclear? Did I see a nuclear sign?
There may have been some nuclear signs.
Did y'all see that? Did that just me? Y'all didn't see the okay. All right, y'all ain't paying attention. Tell us about what the biggest threat is this year.
I mean, I think it's all of the above. You know, we saw our group head out with that mission to help people, and they're going to find it's a lot harder than just picking up a walkie and saying they want to help. You know, a lot of teases in that trailer, but they find themselves in a strange place with some kind of mysterious things going on around them.
And you did see that nuclear sign, and they may come up against a walker threat that is unlike any they've ever seen, and a walker threat that might be able to hurt them beyond just a bite. So, perhaps some of the most dangerous walkers they've faced yet.
I mean, that's what happens with nuclear, y'all. That's a whole nother. Okay, Lenny. Hi, Lenny.
Hey, darling.
Hi. Oh! Yes, I'm good. Now, Morgan is the one that came up with the idea of helping people, and he made the decision to go on this mission. Is he surprised by what he's encountering out there in these streets?
He's kind of surprised, yeah. And he's kind of surprised by people's reluctance. I think he thought he would offer help, people would take help. He would feel good about himself. End of story. It's not quite worked out that way, but you know, we've got to a point now in our storytelling that we know how to survive. We have to figure out what the next step is, and we've got skillful at surviving, and we want to share that with other people and figure out who we're going to be in the future. But it's not easy, as you know, nothing is easy in this world, and so they face some trials and tribulations, but. You know, I can only say so much. There's no
I just wanted
There's so much I want to tell you, but I can't because I get fired. But see me after.
Alicia. Hi. Okay, you're like original recipe Fear the Walking Dead, so you have filmed now in Vancouver, LA, Mexico, and Texas. What has been your favorite place to film so far?
I'm gonna be basic and say LA. Because that's like where I live, and
Right.
like really, it was home. I was like, oh my god, I get to like go home now. Yeah, I mean, it's all been incredibly interesting though. Every place has been great. Yeah.
I want to bump over to Coleman because I'm going to come back to you.
Woo!
To our newest, youngest cast member. Hi, Alexa.
How are you?
How are you, Pumpkin?
Good.
I'm good. Did you know when you came on the show that it was going to end up being this long of a run for you so far?
I didn't. I actually, when I came on the show, I thought I was going to do a few episodes, and then after episode 8, you know, I got the script for 9, and then 10, and then it kept going, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then, yeah, I just thought it was going to be a few episodes, so it's, you know, I'm really grateful that it turned out to be what it is, and I love it.
And, you know, she's very poised, but she's 12, you guys. She's 12, so none of us are doing enough with our lives. How are you juggling doing this show and schoolwork?
Oh, well, that's a good question. A lot of, you know, all young actors out there have to find a good balance between school and their work, and I actually, all actors on shows, we do our school, you know, in between scenes and stuff, and we have set teachers that really help us, and I think it's just about finding a good balance in between to stay focused for each, which I think I've kind of found.
Yeah, when I was 12, I couldn't even string a sentence together, so I'm just embarrassed. I'm just gonna go down to Jenna so she can fix this for me. Hi, Jenna. Hi, Pumpkin. Yes, Jenna, June has a lot of medical knowledge. We're finding out she's the one that saved them last year when they had that little bug that was gonna kill them all. And this year she's playing nurse to Luciana has that little cut. Do you study medical stuff to prepare for playing a medical person on television?
I did go because June was a trauma nurse. So in Austin, I went to the head of the trauma department at the hospital and got with him and asked many, many questions to get myself oriented to the bigger, you know, I mean, I'm a mother in real life, so I'm a mini baby nurse in a way, because you do have to deal with things when you're raising children, but the big stuff that is specifically trauma oriented, and I just feel better when I'm obviously have some sense of,
Hey, Denai, I heard there's going to be an accordion concert this year. So, do you play accordion?
Well, you know, I think Luciana really loves music and the apocalypse. And when she goes in a dark place, that's where she goes to. So I think I want to take it to the next level. I'm just going to leave you with that.
Hi, Coleman. Hi, Pumpkin. So, you guys may not know this, you may know, Coleman is an actor, but he's also a playwright, a director, on and on. You directed last season, you directed again this season. What can you tell us about acting versus directing?
I think hopefully one feeds the other. I think that possibly I become a better collaborator as an actor when I switch hats from being a director. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, because I mean, to be very honest, a lot of times actors, we're sort of put in our own little bubble and we're put in our little cages and come out and do the scene. And then we're like wondering, why is this taking so long? Because but as a director, you know why it's taking so long. There's a lot that needs to be done. You just need to chill and be generous. But also, I think that it just feeds different parts of my mind. I think I'm always a little outspoken. I have an opinion about
you.
I think as a creative artist, I think honestly, I think all of us on this stage, everyone is such multidisciplined, multi-hyphenate artists that we're always interested in more than just what we're doing as an actor. We're interested in the whole experience, and so I think, you know, mine plays out in being a director.
You have a really scary reintroduction with Daniel Salazar, with Ruben Blades down there. Can you guys tell us what that scene was like, and what was it like for you, Ruben, coming back? And did you know you were coming back? And how come you don't die? Fire, water, gunshots. He just lives.
I'll just say that Ruben Blades, Daniel Salazar is the Terminator.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. First of
of all, I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm really thankful to everyone for the support of the character, Daniel Salazar. And I'm never sure what's going to happen here. And I think no one is. I mean, you know, the show, all of a sudden you're there, then you're not. The thing with Salazar is like, he's like a cockroach, you know, he's very hard to kill. So he's a survivor, so he keeps on going. I'm just very, very happy to be back with my old friends.
We're happy to have you back. Yeah, we're happy.
No, and thank you all, really, for keeping Salazar alive.
Hi, Maggie Grace. Hey, girl, what's up? The group this year is going to be using Al's tapes to try to find people and help them. So you're not just, your character's not just observing, you're now a part of the action. Are you still going to be observing?
Yeah, I think she was really trained to be more of an impartial witness, and she's had to come out of that a bit in this season, and it's a different kind of meaning. It's more direct and immediate to use the tapes to find people that are still with us.
Yeah, there's a question I want to ask you. This is a personal question I want to know. You have been a part of a lot of fantastic Twilight, Lost, all of these wonderful groups of fandoms. What is it like? How does it compare to the Fear the Walking Dead or the Walking Dead fandom?
I mean, basically the way I said about my career is I only do shows with no job security and plane crashes. It really is in line with those values.
Yeah, well, speaking of a plane, you know, you operate a lot of machinery on Fear the Walking Dead. Is it possible that Al's in that plane, flying that plane that we saw almost crash?
It's conceivable.
Just saying.
But she would have had nothing to do with the crash.
The crash. That feels like a spoiler, so I'm going to move on. Garrett? Hi, Garrett.
Hey, man.
Yes. Do you have a favorite John Dory saying?
Saying?
Yes, something that you say is John Dory. That's your favorite.
John Dory seems to have some favorite sayings.
What would you say is one of John Dory's favorites?
He loves food-based epithets. You'll see.
Oh, I'm excited. We'll see. And also I saw, listen, you guys, you know I'm a shipper. So I saw some delicious kisses between you and June, Naomi, Laura, you know.
It's June now. It's June. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm June.
She's June. So I saw some delicious kisses between June and John. Will there be some more interesting places where we find romance?
You mean like locations?
Yeah, I don't know. Answer the question how you want to answer the questions. Remember, children are in the room.
A lot of trucks.
That's like that old, what is that, the newlywed game?
Yeah, that was a little rough. I worded it bad, but are there interesting locations where you find
I guess so. Is there an uninteresting location for a kiss? I don't know.
All right.
It's rockin'.
Hi, Austin. So happy to see you.
I thought I was going to get high pumpkin, but...
Oh, you want a pumpkin? Hi, pumpkin.
Thanks.
Hi. Okay, so the last time we saw you, Daryl told you to leave and never come back. And then you went off. And now we see you. Can you tell us a little bit about how he got to Texas and did he find Sherry on the way?
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Missed the first part. It's a spoiler. I hope you found Sherry on the way. How did you get to Texas? Can you tell us anything about that journey?
It was a long, long journey. And I now have a beard.
A beard.
That's about all I can say.
Okay, well, you can tell me this. You are from Austin, Texas.
I am.
So what is it like filming in your own backyard?
It's the best. It's the best feeling ever. It's come full circle. It's kind of like it's kind of trippy, you know? Like I started off acting there, and now I'm back. on like something that's it's a big show, you know, so it's nice.
Yeah. I'm going to go to some general group questions. Anybody can get in where they want to get in. What do you guys do on set between takes to pass the time?
We make pop videos.
I think you're lying.
They make dance videos.
No, it's true.
Is it true?
Oh, yeah.
They spend all of their time dancing to music and filming it. That's what they do.
Do these live somewhere online where I can see them? Instagram videos? What are these? Can I get a Dropbox of somebody sending me some videos? I'll push them out if somebody sends them to me.
Well, I'm thinking now you're talking about like the hair and makeup trailer as well.
Yeah. Oh, hair and makeup
Have,
trailer
like,
with the dance party.
Friday boogie
Friday
lunchtime.
The way that we deal with it, because the entire crew watches us do this things, we just tell them, this is content for when it's ready, like, right? We're gonna save this content.
And then it never gets pushed out. It's just on phones. This is another, just a random question. What is your favorite craft services food?
Good
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears. I want to go down the line. Everybody's got one.
I like the pretzel peanut butter parcels.
You say a brand, they might send it to you. You might want to rethink your answer. Skinny Pop popcorn. Woo! Anybody else?
I like the kind bars.
Isn't it good?
Yeah,
Skinny Pop is really. Andrew likes Skinny Pop popcorn too. Yes.
You know, there was, this is about catering rather than craft services. Craft services is, you know, your red vines, your M&Ms, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Catering is more like lunch. I will say we were deep in Texas. Deep Texas.
Deep in the heart.
It was 140 degrees out, and catering made something with sea urchin in it.
Nope.
Which I thought was an aggressive play.
It was aggressive. That was very aggressive.
And you know what? They pulled it off.
It was
There was no illness.
Flown in from Japan.
Flown in from Japan. Y'all got a budget?
Special meal.
We eat well.
But I thought, I was impressed, I'll just say that.
Scott, since I have your attention, we see that Morgan and Austin crossed over. Will there be any more other crossovers, and is there anything you can tell us about the greater Walking Dead universe?
Mr. Hardwick made a lot of fun of me this weekend.
Because you don't give a lot of stuff up.
Because I don't give a lot of answers.
But this is me.
But this is what I'll say.
This is Wondercon. We're together. Give us something.
Okay, I'll say something super lame, and then I'll say something super cool.
Awesome.
The super lame thing is we might have like a gigantic announcement this week. But notice I use the word might.
And Scott, your this week ends up being like 6 months down the line. I know you're this week.
No, but let me say
I know these tricks.
Let me say the super cool thing. In the first half of this season on Fear the Walking Dead, we tell a beautiful and action-packed and hilarious and sad and explosive kind of story that actually has to do a lot with one of the characters here, but very much a great deal having to do with another peek into the greater universe of The Walking Dead that really puts a character
and that character
to some of the things that have been going on this show and on The Walking Dead. So there's that, and then as far as seeing other crossovers, there is some very, the thing with Dwight, the thing with Morgan is very unusual, but there's something really cool about the past, some of these characters that we're going to see.
There's a connection between Rick Grimes, they say. It's a connection. Okay, Mikey. Hi, Mikey.
Hi.
What are the challenges and the best parts of filming in Texas for you as a director?
I mean, I think one of the best parts is actually our crew. You know, we have a huge portion of our crew is from Austin, and they are fantastic, and they are the top. What that does is make our job really difficult, because now that we found out what everybody can do, Ian and Andrew and Scott have been writing to the maximum. So it's a good that turns into a bad, but I think it's being there and having those kind of filmmakers with us allows us to really increase the size and the depth that we tell the stories on, and I think you're going to feel it.
Yeah, and I mean, we start day one of prep on an episode, generally the response is, this script is impossible to produce, and then by like day 3, it's like, okay, maybe, and then by the end of prep, they're like, yeah, we got it. We got it.
Alicia, we've seen you go from being a high schooler to being like this badass. Is there a certain scene or shot or stunt that you've done over the years that you've been on the show that you're like, that's my favorite? That was the most fun to me. Or even the most difficult?
Gosh, I've done so much. I'm just like, it feels like every week is a new challenge. I'm like, really, guys? What did I ever do to you? I think when we were in the basement last season. It wasn't so much that the stunt was hard, because we were just in the basement, but I do remember having to hold my breath a lot and being really not good at it anymore. But the conditions around it were really tough. Usually it's just a layering of things. It's like, there's a storm going on, and you're in the basement, and it's flooding, and you're like, both gonna die. Like, it's this compounded stunt in itself. So I think that's what pops out the most. But this season there is definitely some pretty gnarly stuff. Yeah.
I want to know, you guys are sharing the cast with Coleman, but he's also directed you. So I would love to know what he's like as a director. What is it like to have a castmate direct you, or to have this wonderful man direct you? Anybody, jump in.
We really love him.
You know, what's really great is that he knows us really well as actors, and he has seen our journeys, you know, like face to face. So when he directs us, it's the next level, because usually we have guest directors, but now we have a director that is one of us, and gets the universe really well. So it was a really cool experience.
And Coleman's you're such a calm director too.
Yes.
Which is like what's so lovely is he's able to just, as you said, because he knows the world so well, able to just express what he needs with clarity, and just it's so calm, and just has a great relationship with the crew, so it just falls into place. It's so nice.
And it keeps everybody smiling.
Yeah.
And it keeps everybody happy, and he's incredibly inclusive. And his directing style is just to come up and give you something to try.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go, how about this? Why don't we do this scene purple? And you'll go, I've got no idea what that means, but I'm gonna give it a go. And it turns out to be brilliant. It's a lovely opportunity that the producers and the execs offer up to the cast to step on the other side and expand the way that they tell stories. And Coleman has led from the front, and it's beautiful. It's lovely. I love the episodes when Coleman's the one in charge.
And just to say too, Coleman did a fantastic job with the episode he directed last season, episode 412. But if you thought that was good, the one he did this year will really blow you away. It is.
We said we're going to make it bigger, we're going to make it more emotional, and he delivered. We can't wait for people to see it.
And no director is as good unless you have the support from every single person. I have mentorship from like Michael Satrazimas, and if everyone, it's really, honestly, it's just indicative of our company and our crew, that they're all rallied behind you, truly. They're really rallied behind you because it means something to them to make sure you have a great experience and you have a great episode. So everyone, I personally really thank everybody. Everyone's great.
I'll tell you what's amazing is to see somebody get re-inspired and be so excited to create on a much larger level and tell a story, and that's something that is so exciting to see, and Coleman represents that in every possible way.
You guys, get warm fuzzies. This is warm fuzzy time. That was lovely.
Thank you.
You guys who have questions, can you line up now? We're going to go to you in a second. I want to give you a little time to get up in here, so get in. If you guys see the mic, get up there. I have one more question for Ruben. What has it been like for you? Yes, you. What has it been like for you to pop in and pop out? Like, is it like riding a bike coming back? You're in a new city this time working. What is that like, that transition for you?
I pretty much understand Salazar, so I can go back very easily to what he is. What is a little difficult at times is that the writers always know more than you do, and when you do that jump, you have to sort of go with what's written, but at the same time, what the memory of the character is.
Right.
So that even when you give out the line, you're still holding on to something, or trying to give it more of an ambiguous delivery, so that you can always retreat or go back once you understand what is really happening. Because ain't no more. I mean, I have a backstory that I wrote for myself, so I use that, But it's with these people trying to get anything out of them, it's like pulling teeth out of it.
Especially Scott Gimple, my lord.
Very, very, very quiet, especially this guy.
Scott and Gimple. Don't even try it.
Really?
Don't even try it. Was it unfair? I think it's true. All right, let's go. That's my friend, I can say that. Okay, let's go to the questions. Who has a question? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hi. My question is for Maggie. We see Maggie always, or Althea, sorry, trying to get everybody else's backstory. When are we going to get hers? Are we going to get it this season? I know you're not really allowed to give away spoilers, but I'm really interested to see Althea's backstory.
And receipts.
I think we can safely say some of the events of the season force Al to reckon with some of her past.
Yeah, I'd also add that we're also going to see a lot of Al's present story and her taking some kind of unexpected leaps.
And your shirt says?
It says if Althea dies, I riot.
I cut someone off. Who had another comment about Al? Did I cut someone off?
What's that?
Someone, was it you that you have? Yes.
We will learn more about her than we ever have this season. And she will become more vulnerable than she's ever been. I mean, she's, I think, one of the most guarded characters of the Walking Dead universe. She's like in a vault, but she opens up a little bit this season, and we're going to start seeing her backstory eventually, which is rather epic.
Ooh, that's a school. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Brendan, and I've actually seen the panel last year, and it's so great to see you all again.
You too.
Thank you. Yeah, especially Alicia. Like, my friend Casey is a big fan, so she really loves you.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. It's so sweet.
You're welcome. Now, my question
It's adorable.
All right, so my question is, as time has passed on since Madison's death, how has Alicia developed as a leader, and has she seen Morgan as a sort of guide or mentor in her journey?
Morgan and Alicia's pairing is very interesting. I think they both are trying to wrestle with the same philosophical questions of, you know, what is the reason to keep going? Why do we want to keep going? Like, what's the point? And I think she does seem as a sort of mentor, because he does take her under a wing and try to convince her that there is more to this, and that, you know, we have to do better things to make up for what we've done, and that it can be a really positive thing to do, and it can give you hope, and it can give you a sense of reason and purpose. So definitely that, and I think she needs it too, everything she's been through. She's lost so many people, and she's become very much this guarded warrior, and that's what she prides herself in, and that's what she thinks is the only thing she can do, which is just fight and kill. And I think he's one of the people that knows there's so much more to that and wants to get her to start trusting again. Yeah.
Good answer. Hello, dear.
Hi.
What's your name?
Anna.
Hi.
So my question's for Alicia, and it's how has all the emotional turmoil that she's been through since season 1, you know, losing her family pretty much, really is going to help her become a bigger leader this season. And by the way, I love you.
So much, she said. So much, not just love it, so much
Oh,
love.
that's so sweet. Thank you.
It's been a real delight to be with a character this long and see her grow from being a high school student to becoming this fierce warrior. And although there's so much tragedy that's happened, I think it's given her all the tools to be such a capable young woman, and she's obviously so, like, can do the apocalypse. But I think really what we'll see more in going forward is her trying to reason with what to do next, and like, is there hope? And like, that's what really will make her a better person and leader throughout it all, because if you can't connect to the humanity of it, then I don't think you've got anything left.
All right, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
And my question's for Alicia again.
There's a whole bunch of people up here. I love her too, but come on, y'all. All right, go ahead. So that's it.
Me too, guys.
It's the bones. They love the bones.
I just want to start by saying that I love you, Alicia. And my question is, your character obviously is a badass, and she's done so many great things, but she's also suffered a lot. So, of all of this emotional turmoil that she's faced, what about her character do you see in yourself?
I was talking about this earlier. It's a funny one because I've played this character for such a long time, and often I find as an actor you draw upon the things that are already within you, especially with this character because she is like similar in age and kind of I've grown up with her in a sense, and a lot of the environment around you that you're in does determine how you're drawing upon different things, and so it's tricky sometimes. Those lines start to merge and you are extracting really big parts of your emotional well, and you're thinking like, wait, is this me, or is this like what's different, what's the same? And I mean, in response though, I think I become very different when I'm off the job. Like, I mean, I've closed my hair, for God's sake. I've gone like all out at the opposite end. But yeah, I think there are a lot of similarities, but you know, I try and keep work as work too.
Thank you for your question. Next question. Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, thank the cast for being here. Fear has the most established like pop culture icons in their version of the show compared to the Walking Dead series. So a lot of the people up there I've looked at and admired throughout their years. My question is for Mr. Gimple is, in terms of the timeline, considering the 2 significant time jumps since Morgan left, where does Fear stand in years or months behind where Walking Dead is?
Great question. Yes, got it, Gimple. Yeah. Dodge that one. I love you.
Damn it. Don't have my computer with me. Morgan left Virginia about... You're already shaking your head.
Because I feel like you're stalling.
Always. About a couple months after the events of episode 816.
Okay.
On Fear the Walking Dead, maybe a few more months have transpired. And Dwight also left at 816.
Stalling.
Took the long way. So if you count a few more months at the beginning of this season, I put it to Andrew and Ian.
See, he punted. He just punted.
We've got a calendar in our office with the exact date and year. We don't.
Down to the minute.
Yeah, exactly.
The basic idea, though, is that they may not be running completely...
Oh no, Fear the Walking Dead is now significantly behind the timeline of Walking Dead. Walking Dead did jump.
6 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's our answer. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. My name is Luke Cheeseman.
Nice name.
And this question is for Maggie Grace.
Maggie Grace.
What do your parents think of the show? Because I can't seem to get mine to watch a zombie show.
Hi, Luke.
Is he related to you?
Yes.
Is that your brother? Is that your brother?
My cousin.
That's your cousin.
The same cousin as last year?
Hello, cousin, Mr. Cheeseman. That's adorable.
I'm like, this could get so much worse so fast. No, they like it. I think they struggle with some of the more violent moments, but they're hooked. Yeah.
Thank you, Luke Cheeseman. Not your last name. Hello, Negan.
Hey, y'all.
What's your real name?
Oh, well, I don't think. Well, I think I'm Negan, first of all.
You are Negan, all right.
Yeah, that's right.
I want credit to it.
Remember you guys?
What's your question, Negan?
Well, I have a question for all of you.
Now, Morgan, you once told Jimbo that you can choose to die whenever you want, right?
Yes.
Now, how would you guys end your life if you were bitten, like Jimbo?
Oh.
Playing the accordion.
There's a concert later this season, guys. Anybody else got to answer how they would end it if they were facing the end?
I think I would be doing one of those videos that we usually do.
I would just want to get a good laugh in before I go. I don't want someone to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Just get a good belly laugh in before it's all over.
I would just get some lessons with Morgan's, Aikido practice, because that never ends well. So, I would ask for some mentorship before I die.
Anybody else?
I think I will have a few beers.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to feel it either. Hi, honey. What's your name?
My name's Maria, and my questions is for Coleman. And Victor's been a very kind of selfish person, and now with this new mission of helping people, I want to know how Victor does.
Ooh, good question.
Good question. Tune in on June 2nd. No, I think that Victor has. We've seen the history of Victor, of him. I always say that from the inside of playing Victor, I can always justify why he's doing something. So when I hear Victor's been selfish, I maybe say, no, he hasn't been. He's actually just been really pragmatic and really trying to make the best decision. And then sometimes the group makes a different decision and he has to make another one. But I think that he's growing into this group. I think that all the events have led him to, in a way, sort of examining himself through the eyes of the way Madison saw him, as someone who had more kindness and generosity than he even imagined. She was always, still living in her shadow and what she set up for the group. And as we're moving on, we become a new family. And what is our mission collectively, and how can we be our better selves? So I think Victor is still, at the core, Victor is Victor. But I think that he's really trying, and he's really doing his best to try to be his best self. And we'll see what happens on June 2nd.
Yes. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
Name's Carlos. Great fan of the show. Great show. Love all of you. My question is, if any one of your characters from Fear the Walking Dead, not necessarily the Walking Dead characters that came over, could tangle with a character from The Walking Dead, who would it be?
Define tangle.
Well, we saw in the trailer Salazar meeting
head-to-head, mano a mano. Okay.
Yeah, just like straight up, like, who are you?
Battle Royale, who are you?
A character going to The Walking Dead, not past Walking Dead characters.
Althea versus Alpha.
Yes, Alpha. Yes, Maggie Grace. Yes. Anybody else?
I'd quite like to see Rick and John Dory have a kind of gun.
Western off?
A high noon moment. I'd like to see that.
Salazar and Negan.
Anybody else?
I just love Carol.
Isn't she great? I love her with Daryl.
I love both of them. I love the whole thing of them. I love everything about the two of them.
Yes, Jenna.
Yes to them.
I love Jenna. Jenna's my favorite for saying that. I love you. Anybody else?
I think I'd like to meet Michelle.
Woo! Yeah. Deny and Deny.
Yes.
Deny and Deny.
She's the only person I know that is named Deny too. That would be funny.
It causes lots
Deny,
of
look up.
in our
Which
office.
Deny are you talking about? Deny, to the left. Which Deny are you talking about? That would be awesome. Deny, great. Thank you. I take that. That's me.
I love it. Anybody else? We good? We good? Anybody? Bueller? Okay. Hey, great question. Hello.
Hello, my name's David. And first I just want to say you guys are amazing. I've loved Walking Dead since the first episode. When Fear premiered, I was so excited and it's been amazing. Thank you, Scott Gimple, for everything you've done and everyone else. Exceeding everything. Okay. My question is for Lenny. So, huge Morgan fan. Clear was still one of the best episodes ever on television.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Directed by? Okay, go on, sorry.
Okay, so Morgan, as a character, would you ever, or do you think he would ever consider having a family again of his own? Having another child or another wife or companion with everything he's dealt with? I mean, that other episode with Eastman and just seeing how he went through everything, I can't imagine that he could ever consider it, but at the end of last season, it seemed like he really did want to move forward. And to truly do that would be to have his own family again.
I don't know, dude. I think it would be the biggest test for him. I think that the loss of his wife and the loss of his son has defined almost every single decision that Morgan has made in the apocalypse. I think he walks with his family, even on a good day and a bad day, with them being right there. I think the journey to the possibility of a relationship with somebody else would be the scariest thing that Morgan's ever come across. He still wears his wedding ring. As far as he's concerned, he's still married. But also that whole part of him, because he cares about people, he loves people even. But to be in love for Morgan, I think it will be such a betrayal of his wife and family that for it to happen, it would take somebody amazing, and it would take Morgan to face demons that he just possibly couldn't bear to look at. I think it would crush him before it would make him. But could be fun.
That was a great question. A great answer.
I want to see your little.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Big fan. And my question goes out to the entire panel. If you were in the Walking Dead universe, what weapon would you use and why?
What weapon?
Look.
Okay, so you as individuals, if you guys are in the zombie apocalypse, what would you use?
I will say that when Rick took on the pit walker that he encountered with the scavengers, I definitely wanted him to use a keyboard at some point. It didn't go well, but I would try.
Anybody else?
I say I want an accordion. And I want to see someone use an accordion as a
It's a
weapon.
concert later in the season.
Did I? Just wait for it.
It's fun. Anybody else? I see
I think I would just head immediately to the SWAT van, get inside, be barricaded,
Wait down.
and I got the guns if I need those. So it's sort of double protection.
I think I would take John Dory's guns.
I take John Dory with his guns, but nobody asked me.
Back off, Yvette.
All right, Jen. All right. Next question.
Hi guys. I'd like to say that John Dory has reawakened my cold dead heart. And this question's for Jenna Elfman. How would Dharma react to The Walking Dead? If she survived, how would her attitude be at this point in time?
She'd probably be immune to the virus somehow.
I agree.
I think she'd be very supportive of what this group is doing. That's what I think. I think she'd join up with these people right here.
Good answer. Hello, sir.
Hi, Nicole. Loved you on Drake and Josh.
You did. Thank you. And you guys, my middle name is Nicole, so it's my name too. So don't feel bad. But no, it's fine. It happens all the time. Go ahead here.
All right, so love all of you. My question is for Austin. So obviously Dwight sticks around a little longer in the comics, but after leaving The Walking Dead, does any content from what happens, after the point when he left, when he would have left in the comics, does it carry over to Fear? I really wish there was a question I could answer, man. Tune in on June 2nd.
That makes me happy. That means some really great stuff is coming if you guys can't talk about any of this stuff. Like even, I'm excited. All right. Yes, sir.
Hi. So I was wondering, as groups and enemies in both shows get bigger, how does that play out in the interaction between shows and in the world? For example, will we be seeing them face a common enemy?
Between the two shows?
Good this season, I wouldn't classify it as an enemy, but there will be this, beyond Austin, this very interesting commonality, this story strand that's going to be furthered on this show that started in The Walking Dead, and who knows where it will go. But that's the thing on tap right now, and then, you know, into our 30th or 40th year, really going to see a lot more crossover.
This is sadly our last question. It's okay. But look what you're wearing. And look who's giving it.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Okay, can we just give it up for you?
Come on, guys. What's your name?
Jasper.
Hi, Jasper.
My question is for the whole cast. What would you say, personality-wise, is the biggest difference between yourself and your character in the show?
Let's go down the line quickly. We got time.
I'm not as brave as Morgan.
I'm so much more a gully girl. It's like...
I'm not cynical at all.
No, he's not.
Mine would have to be the same as Alicia. I'm a super girly girl too.
I feel the same.
They are pretty girly guys.
All the girls
John's a lot more talkative.
Then you are. That's true. No, that's true.
I just think June's experienced so much more loss than I personally have, that actually then defines, it affects her personality, and then her having been with him and having a rebirth, that's a lot more layers, I think, than I personally have.
Alice really become inured to violence and feels sort of apathetic around it. I don't.
Probably braver than I am.
I trust people more than Salazar does.
You guys, this has been an amazing hour of wonderful news about Fear the Walking Dead. Thank you guys. June 2nd. June 2nd.